Hi, guys. Time for another Tuesday weekly live. I hope you're looking forward to it. Today's going to be my second card class at home. I'm going to be doing these more often. I'm probably going to do one again next week, and then I'll take a break for Christmas. So the last two Tuesdays, I will not do a live, but I'll be back again in January. So let me get some things up here. Oh, hi, Jan. Glad you're back. Thanks for coming. So, normally with the classes, I only do one door prize, but I just keep changing things a little bit. I keep thinking of different, better, hopefully better ways of doing it. With my card at home classes, I do 3 cards. What I'm going to do, everybody that's watching the live and comments will get put in the drawing to get one of the cards that I'm making today, and I'll even let you pick the one you want. And then the ones that are watching the recording, because I know a lot of you work in the afternoon, so you can't watch it the live. During the recording, I will pick 2 winners and from the last 2 cards. I'll have 3 winners to get one of each card. Okay. Oh, hi, Sue from Wisconsin. Glad you're here. My husband loves to go to Wisconsin. um, let's see here. Let's go ahead and while we're waiting for people to come on, I want to make sure I remind you of my monthly online card club. I'm going to show you the alternative cards. I made alternative cards last week for my Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And I'll show you those again. Those are going to be the door prizes, and I'll draw the name for that winner in just a minute. But you'll get, normally with my card club, you get a half pack of designer series paper, a roll of ribbon, or a pack of embellishments. So sometimes that changes. Oh, hi, Linda from Michigan. I've got a couple people from north of me. I bet it's cold up there. It's got a little warmer today here in Indiana. We'll see how long that lasts. Let's see. Also, you'll get those 3 things. Like this month, I think I did change it up a little bit. There was still a half pack of designer series paper. Um, there's a pack of embellishments, and I can't remember what the other. Oh, some blending brushes. I gave you a pack of blending brushes instead of giving you ribbon. I also gave you the additional supplies needed to make 6 exclusive cards. Those 3 pictures of cards that you're seeing right now, those are the sneak peeks of the 3 card designs. You get to make 2 of each. And this is a subscription. So you would PayPal. It's through PayPal. You don't have to have a PayPal account. But that's what I use. That's who I use to process the credit cards. So you can sign up, and you'll get charged every month $39.50, getting all of that. And there's always an option to add on the bundle. And I don't charge you the shipping and the tax on the bundle or the stamp set. You don't have to have dies. I'll die cut for you. Or you can find out all the information by clicking the card club link below in the video description. That's hard to say. And then this is going to be your last chance before our next live to subscribe to Paper Pumpkin. If you have a lot of gift cards to give, now these will be after Christmas, but I'm sure you've got a lot of birthday gift cards you need to do. You have until December 10th to sign up for that. And if you look in the bottom right corner of the picture, you'll see some card bases and envelopes. Those are add-ons that only people that subscribe to Paper Pumpkin can get. So once you subscribe, then you'll be able to buy those card bases and envelopes, and they're really nice. I've got some. And that's it. There's a link below in the video description to subscribe there. Okay, I'm going to see if anybody else has come up on YouTube. Oh, so far just Jan. Let's see. Let's go ahead and do the door prize. We're going to do that really weird screen here. Well, here first, let me show you what the door prize was from last week. If I can get a hold of them. Here are the 2 alternative cards I made last week. These are alternative cards to that card club I was telling you about. Oh, hi, Mary Alice from South Carolina. California, because it's Carolina. California. We got a warm state with us. Somebody on the West Coast, too, not just Midwest people. But I've got, okay, so everybody that, I can't think today. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, so hopefully I'll get through this video. Everybody that commented during the live last week and the recording got their names put in the drawing for this. So I'm going to do this really funny thing. The screen's going to look funny for just a second. And then go to full screen. Now we've got this fancy wheel. I've got everybody's names there. So I'm going to click, and we'll see who wins last week's cards. Chris Lamana, Congratulations. Chris watches just about every week. So, Chris, if you're watching this week, make sure you comment, either message me here on Facebook or click the contact me link in the video description and give me your mailing address. I'll get those mailed out to you right away. Okay, let's go ahead and get rid of this screen. And we'll go back to me again. There we go. So congratulations, Chris. Hope you like those cards. Okay, well, last week we took a break from Christmas. This week it's going to be Christmas cards. And if you saw the picture, well, here, I'll just show you the picture now. This is the card class at home that we're doing today. Those are the 3 cards I'm going to make here in a few minutes. With my free card class, everybody anywhere in the world can watch this video and learn how to make all the cards. Only those that live in the United States can participate to get the free supplies to make the cards per Stampin' Up! Rules. So if you order from me using host code, I think it's VQMBKRAQ, that's a weird one, and spends at least a $45 order, $40 order, will get the supplies to make the cards. And then if you bump it up to a $55 order, then all these are before shipping and tax. So you have to get to these totals before the shipping and tax gets added on. So $40 order gets you the supplies. A $55 order will get you a full pack of the red rhinestone basic jewels that I use to make the cards. I don't include the embellishments in the card kit, but you can substitute it with any other little rhinestones and things that you have. Oh, Mary Alice, I'm glad you've got this set because I have really sad news. I didn't see this until this morning, and I have a feeling it just happened because last time I checked, it was still there. This bundle that I'm using is no longer available because the dies have sold out. These are retiring from the mini catalog. That's the bad part. I love Last Chance Month. Everybody can get their stuff last chance and a lot of times at a discount. But it makes it hard on demonstrators when we try to come up with classes because things could sell out before we get the class done. Well, that's what happened here, but the stamp set's still available. So if you do the card kit and you want to get the stamp set, still get it, because I'm going to do all of the die cutting for you except for the stamped images. Those you'll have to fussy cut out, but the little hills and other little things that I use with the dies, I'll die cut for you, so you don't have to worry about not having the dies. But this stamp set is still really cute without the dies, so hope you get it if you like it. Okay, and I will put there is a link down below to the card class so you can learn how, get the host code again, because I'm sure you didn't get that written down, and get all the information so you know how to get your free card pack. Let me show you the card packs too. So like I said, you get enough to make 2 of each card. So I put them in envelopes. There's also another envelope here in the back of each one. So you've got envelopes for your cards. I've got the embossing done if there's any embossing that needs to be done. Like I said, any of the die cutting that is involved that does not involve stamps. So that's what you get for your order when you place a $40 order. You get this for free. And then if you bump it up to the $55, pretend like this is a full pack. You'll get these red rhinestones. And that's all before shipping and tax. Okay, so I think we're done here. I'm going to get my chat back up from YouTube. Oh, hi, Margaret and Judy. Glad you're here. Okay, let's start with card number 1. I'm going to bring all these in. Now, well, let's go ahead and put this to the side. I did some die cutting ahead of time, so you don't have to sit there and watch me die cut, but I am going to stamp. So when you get the card kit, I give you a half sheet of the basic white that all the stamping is done on. That way, if you substitute another stamp set, you've got plenty of cardstock. That's another reason I don't die cut the stamped images. That way, you get this full sheet, and you can use any stamp set you have on hand to make your cards. So I went ahead and did one on this side, so they're all cut out, but I'm going to stamp them so you can see how I stamped them. And then I'm going to tell you a little trick. I think I've told some of you have watched my videos before. You've heard me say this before. But with these images that are bold with a photopolymer, a lot of times when you go to stamp it, ink it up the first time, actually first few times, it'll have little blotches and you can't get a really smooth look to it. Ink these up with Versamark first. That it conditions them. I let it soak in for a few seconds. You may not need to soak it in, but I just do that just on the safe side. Clean them off, and then they're ready to go, and you get a nice image when you use your ink pads. So that's what I did with all of these. So that's why they're going to stamp really good. So I'm going to use my crumb cake ink pad. I'm going to stamp. Oop, I've got some stains on that. We're going to turn this over. And I'm going to stamp the house right here. Okay. And I think that's all I'm using crumb cake on this card. I'll be using it again, though. Now I need to do my petal pink ink pad. Oh, hi, Diana. I'm glad you got on. Hopefully you probably having some technical difficulties. Boy, you wouldn't believe the technical difficulties I was having yesterday. Those of you that are in my card club and my class at home from, well, no, actually just the card club. I did the video and I went to edit it. I had no audio. My microphone that I'm using right now was turned down all the way. There was absolutely no audio. So now I'm having to go back and add audio to the video. It's a nightmare. So that's why that's delayed. But yeah, I've been doing videos for a long time, and that is the first that's ever happened. It was really frustrating yesterday. So now I've stamped this double window. Oh, I did forget to show you the bundle. Like I said, the dies are not available. Since this is a class, I want to make sure I show you what I'm using. I'm using the house, the windows, this little outline for the doors and windows. There are two little hump ones that use the same dies. The one that's smoother is a window, so that's what I'm going to use for window. The little lollipop and the tree, there's the door, the roof, these little swirl effects, and sending love. So those are all the stamps I'm using. And then with the dies, I'm using this, and I'm going to show you how I die cut this. That one I want to make sure because there's a little explanation to that. And then the other dies, I'm not going to worry about getting them out since I already die cut everything. But I've got the house, the door, the windows. I love how we have two trees, two of the lollipops, and I think that's, oh, and then I did a window. So those were all the dies that I used. Like I said, even though the die set's not available, you can fussy cut those out. Okay, so now we've got the windows and that all done. Let's grab Pool Party. And now I'm going to take the door. I'm going to ink it up. Let's put it about here. Doesn't matter where you put it since we're die cutting them out. Let's see, what else do I need to stamp? Oh, yeah, we need to do our lollipops. So I'm going to use, Sweet Sorbet. There are two different reds. Also, the designer paper I'm using sold out, too. That's the Sweetest Christmas is what I'm using. But don't worry, I've got enough for the card packs. I just don't have any for the, you won't be able to buy any extra paper. Let's see, I was getting ready to stamp. I got sidetracked. Where did my lollipop go? Oh, there it is. I've got so many stamps laying around. That's a neat thing with this set. There's so many stamps. You can make so many different cards with this. It's so cute. So there we've got our two lollipops with the Sweet Sorbet. Let's see, I want to do two trees. So I'm going to take the garden green and this tree stamp. Let's do a couple of those. And I'm kind of keeping them far away since like I said, I've got two dies for these and two dies for those. So I'm going to be able to run all of this through one time when I do it later. That's what I was able to do earlier. And then we need the roof. I almost forgot the roof. House needs a roof. And I decided to use real red with this. All the colors I'm using, except for the petal pink and the crumb cake, those I added myself. Actually, soft suede too. But are from the Sweetest Christmas DSP. But that's, in case you can't remember which one that is, that's the one that came in the candy cane suite. So that paper's no longer available. So if you have any favorites from that July to December mini catalog, you better place your order quick. I was surprised when I went to check today how many things have sold out already. Okay, let's see if I got everything. We got the house, the windows, the door, my lollipops, tree, and the roof. Yep, that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and put these to the side because I've already got them all die cut with all of the dies that I showed you here. Excuse me. Put that to the side. Let's see, what do I want to do next? Oh, I do want to show you how I made those hills. So I'm going to bring this in, switch places here. Okay, now there is a piece of white that I'm using, and I'm not going to be naming off the sizes either because I give a PDF. That's another perk for people that order from me to get the class. You're also going to get a PDF with all of the dimensions and some quick instructions on how to make the cards to go along with the video. So now I'm going to grab this long snow hill, and I'm going to put this about in the middle, like so, okay? Then put another standing cutting plate on top. So this is set up for die cutting, the big base platform, the die plate, and then the standard cutting plate. Then you put another standard cutting plate on top. My bottom one is starting to warp on me, but it's still going to work. There we go. Actually, I'm going to bring this down just a little bit. There we go. Now I'll run this through. And we are going to be using both halves. So there's the top, and then this one is going to go underneath, so I have a couple little hills. But these are all die cut for you in the card kit. I just want to show you how to do that in case you ever want to make these cards again. So let me get this out of the way. And this is a piece of sweet sorbet. This is the card base. Let me grab my bone folder here. We'll get those corners matched up. I never worry about looking at the sides. I just always make sure I've got those corners lined up. So we've got that there. I'm going to grab my petal pink cardstock. And like I said, this is not a color in the paper, but I thought it looked really good with these. There was some pinks in that paper. They didn't give the name of it, so I thought, oh, that's close enough. So we're going to use, this is a piece of that Sweetest Christmas DSP. Let's see, where did I put my, there it is. Couldn't find my seal there for a second. So I'm going to put some seal right here in the corners and along the long edge. Oh, hi, Carol from Connecticut. I've got people from everywhere today in the U.S. I'm glad you guys are all here. Okay, now I'm going to line this up. I'm lining the bottom edge here. That looks pretty even, so now I'll go ahead and push the whole thing down. And we're not using any ribbon on any of these cards. I know that's a first, I think. I usually use at least one ribbon on a card. But not today. We're going to put this, it's not quite in the middle, but I'm not going to worry about it. It looks close. So I think this might be a little narrow down here, but that doesn't matter, just as long as it's close to the middle. Okay, now, oh, I need to bring the die cutting machine back out. I wanted to show you in case, because I never know if I've got a new stamper watching. So I want to show you how to use the 3D embossing folders. So with the folders, you take away, the 3D folders, that is, you take away the standard cutting plates and the die plate. And you end up using, oh, here it is, a specialty plate. Now, all of these plates, the plates I took away, this and this, all come with a Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I love that you don't have to buy any extras. But I'm going to be using these folders. They are 3D folders just because they're thicker than our regular folders. But these are mini folders that fit in our mini cut Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. But I wanted to show you both of these. These are not available right now, but they will be coming back, I think, at the end of December. But it's still good to get for winter projects and have them for next Christmas. But I really like this. I like both of them. I'm going to be using the snow one this time. And where did I put my, oh, there we go. Well, no, that's not it. I covered up, oh, here we go. I was like, what did I use? Now, I'm going to put this right inside. I'm not going to worry about lining it up with the line. I want to get it to where it looks the best where the snowflakes are. Kind of get them spread out a little bit. I think that looks pretty good. Okay, now I'm going to put it in. You always want to put it in fold first. Then you put the specialty plate on top and run it through. It doesn't take as many plates since they're thicker folders. And then we've got the neat snowflakes. Like I said, in your card kit, if you place an order to get the free card kit, that'll be embossed for you. Okay, now we're done with the embossing machine. At least for now. I can't remember if I use it on any other cards or not. Okay, now where did I put my There we go. There's the card base. This is the inside of the card, so we do have a little more stamping to do. I almost forgot. I'm going to bring this back in. I always use my Stampin' Pierce mat when I stamp, and definitely need to have some cushioning underneath this paper when you're using photopolymer, which is what this stamp set is. Now, I wanted to decorate this, so I'm going to grab the little lollipop and the Sweet Sorbet ink pad again. I'm going to stamp these over here in the corner. I'm going to do a couple of them right next to each other, like that. And then I thought I'd put a couple trees over here on the right corner. So I'm going to grab this. I'm going to do one right here. Doing right next to it, just a little bit shorter. So that's how I decorated the inside of the card. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on the inside. Oh, and I will have one more thing to stamp. I was thinking I was all done. So I'm going to put this right here. And it's a little smaller than what I normally make my inside because I kind of liked having an extra wide border around it of the card base. Okay, now the last thing we need to stamp, I'm going to bring in the snow hills that I just got done doing. And this is my bottom one right here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the Real Red ink pad and my, let's see, where did it go? Sending Love. Oh, no, actually, I use Sweet Sorbet. It really doesn't matter. Let's go ahead and just stick with how I've got everything so don't get mixed up. The Sending Love. And I'm going to put this right, try to keep this straight, but right under that little hill there. There we go. So we've got that ready to go. Now, one thing I was going to tell you, I did use Sweet Sorbet and Real Red. You could probably get by just using one of those colors. You don't have to have both of them. Okay, I'm going to bring in my little blue piece here that I embossed. Grab my right dish here. Got a lot of die cuts laying around here. Don't want to lose them. Let's get all these little guys out. Oh, come back here. There we go. So we've got our two candies, our lollipops. We've got our roof, our two trees, the door, and the windows. Oops, I've got one missing here. Where did my little round... Uh-oh. I know I did it. Well, you know what? Where my... I could just die cut another one. I thought sure I put that in here, though. Of course. Whenever you go live, things have got to disappear, don't they? You know what? Instead of getting my embossing machine out again, because that's going to take a little while, I'm just going to hurry up and show you how easy it is to fussy cut these out. So I'll just cut this out, and then I'll have a window. So that kind of helps die cutting them ahead of time, especially when I lose one. I'll leave a little bit of a white border around it, like the die would have. That's a little choppy up there, so I'm going to trim it off just a little bit. There we go. Now we've got a window. Watch me find it now that I've cut it out. That happens to me all the time. Look for something forever, and then when I finally replace it, then I find it. That's true, Carol. Even when they're not live, they definitely disappear. Drives me crazy. I usually have it stuck underneath my cutter. That's where it usually ends up. Or underneath my grid paper, which, oh, it didn't this time. But here, we're good now. I'm going to take the house, if I can get a hold of it, and grab my little windows and a door. I also had to cut my fingernails today, so I'm having trouble picking things up. And take some seal, put it on here, and then I'm going to put it right here in the doorway. There we go. And you don't have to die cut these out. You could just stamp them, which is what I'm going to do on the last card I'm making. So I'll show you how easy it is to line it up too, with just stamping it in. And we've got this. all of these in. And then I'm going to put that little circular window right underneath this little ornate thing right here. And you know what? I forgot to stamp that. Let me bring that back in here so you can see how I stamped that. I knew I was forgetting something. Because you're like, where did those little swirls come from? And the little borders on the doors. I forgot to stamp that. So I'll bring that in. I'm using soft suede. Stand up here so I can see what I'm doing. And these just go right across, or right around, that is, the window and the door. What I end up watching is more getting the windows lined up, and the door does pretty good. I'm off maybe a little bit, but it's a gingerbread house. It's not supposed to look perfect. And then I'm going to use soft suede again and put it here along the roof line, just a little bit below. So that's how I did that. So I think the crumb cake and the soft suede work really good with this gingerbread house. Oops, I almost lost that. That got stuck. I'm bound and determined to lose stuff, aren't I? Okay, now we've got this ready to go. I'm going to put it, first off, I'm going to lay it down, and let's see if putting this down is going to cover all that up, and it does. It does just fine. So what I'm going to do, think this through. Oh, I know what I want to do. I only made these a couple days ago, and I'm forgetting how I did it. I'm going to turn this over. I'm going to put some adhesive on the sides here. And I'm not going to put any real close to the edge here because I do want to tuck in some things. But I'm going to go across here. So right here along this top, there's no adhesive. Then I'll put this on, lining the bottom up with the bottom edge of this with the pool party piece. Now I can bring in my house, get some seal on it. And since I left that open, I'm going to tuck that in so it's kind of behind. Actually, you know what? That's a little higher than I want it to be. This is the thing I love about seal. I can bring it up nice and easy. I'm going to bring it down just a little bit because that was just a little too high. Come on. There we go. Now that that's on, then I can turn this over. Let me make sure that looks good before I start trimming stuff. Oh, that's a lot better. Okay, so I'm going to turn this over and cut this off right along the pool party cardstock. There we go. Perfect. Now this little guy is going to go on. Now it's stuck to my, there we go. I'm going to put this right here in the center. Then I'm going to bring the roof in. And I wanted to pop that up a little bit. Yes, I had to stamp again earlier. So I've got a little, love two sides of cardstock. Where did my dimensionals go? Oh, there they are. Well, there, everything was stuck in my caddy. Since these are kind of small, I'm going to use my mini dimensionals. And I think I'm just going to put one on that center scallop, one on this center scallop. Don't know if there's room for right here. Oh, no, that works fine. Right here at the top. I'm not going to worry about doing the ends. That should hold it just fine. Take your pick tool, get the backings off. Like so. And I'm going to line this up right here on the roof line, making sure I don't cover up. And I'm barely putting it down. Notice I didn't get it right in the center, so now I can pop it back up again since I didn't push it down all the way. That looks good. Now I'm going to push it down all the way. And we'll grab, come here, the little lollipops. Oh, there it is. I knew it. It got stuck underneath. I knew I'd find that. It got stuck underneath the lollipop. Now, I'm going to use a glue dot. I think that's going to be a little easier. I could just put seal on there, but my goodness, I'm getting all these little papers coming out. Get my glue dots. I'm just going to stick one right behind the lollipop part. I'm not going to worry about the stick. I'm going to have this go under here. And I'm okay if it goes over the edge of the pool party just a little bit. That's going to be just fine. Then I want to grab this one. Okay, and I think this is going to be all I put on here for right now. I'm going to go ahead and put this on the card base. There we go. Because normally I probably would have done it before I did the roof. I like to put it on before I start putting dimensional things on there. But this is going to be just fine because it was a little piece. I wanted to get it on before I get the other snow hill on because that one's going to be popped up with dimensionals too. So just get that right in the center. Oops, I got a little fuzzy on there. Now, I'm going to grab this. Oh, wait a minute. Boy, I'm glad Seal comes back up again. I told you I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. Okay, here we go. I forgot I do want to put this on first. I do like it popped up. So I'm going to grab some dimensionals here. My goodness, I keep getting stuff stuck on me. I did laundry yesterday. I'm wondering if some lint flew in here because that's what it looks like. So I'm going to make sure I put dimensionals here at the bottom and not all the way to the top because I'm going to be sticking some trees under. Let's bring this one down a little bit. My brain is not working. I want to bring this up a little bit because we are probably going to be, yeah, that came up good, trimming off some of this. So I'll take these off. There we go. I'm going to put this on, bring it down just a little bit. I'm going to make sure those dimensions, yeah, they're good. I popped them up just right. Bring it down just a little bit more. There we go. So now I've got that. But this is too long now, so we'll turn this over. Where did I put my scissors? Here we go. Oh, there's the pair I was looking for. And now I'm just going to cut right along here. It looks like I have a little bit of a dimensional sticking out. No big deal. I'll just cut that off. There we go. Those are able to be cut too. So now we've got that all ready to go. Now I'm going to put this on the card base so I can get this out of the way. Doesn't that look better? There we go. Needed to get that off so we could trim that off. That would have been way too hard to trim off if we'd all put it on the card. Now I'm going to grab my little trees. And I think one glue dot is plenty. I'm going to put it near the bottom part where it's a little thicker. This one can go right here. Actually, I think I'm going to have this one go up here. I'm going to change it up from my original. There we go. So I have a little more white here than I had on my original. So whenever that happens, you just improvise a little bit. And this one, I'm going to move this over just a little bit so we don't cover up the lollipop. I kind of like the look of having the tree, at least one tree underneath that hill. Looks like it's peeking out the hill. There we go. So we're almost done with that, but isn't that cute? I really, really like this. I'm really sad it's retiring. I'm glad I made a class for it, though, because I hadn't used it yet. Okay, now we need to grab, or I'm going to grab my red rhinestones. And I'm going to put some. I'm going to put one right here in this little swirl in the middle. I'm going to do it in the middle of this one. And the middle of this one. There we go. Now we've got the card all done. So there's card number 1 for the class. Hope you like that one. And let's get set up for card number 2. Let's see, I'm going to put this over here. Okay. I think we want to do, I want to do some stamping first. So I'm going to grab the half sheet here. This is going to be plenty because that is all we stamp on this piece. But I need to grab my chamois here because I'm going to have to clean this off in between colors. If any of you have seen, I did a card with that trees for sale stamp with different colored Christmas trees. Well, I loved that look, so I'm going to do it with this one. So I'm going to start with the lightest color, which is petal pink. Oh, thanks, Carol. I'm glad you loved the card. And don't forget, if you comment during the live, or if you're watching a recording, you'll get put in the drawing to get one of the cards that I'm making today. So there'll be 3 winners all together. The one that's watching the recording gets to pick which of the 3 cards they want. So I'm going to do 2 of the petal pink. Oop, that one went down a little too far. So I'm going to pop that up here. So pretend like that one's not there. Here, I'll put a little X in that one. Okay, now I will clean this one off. And now I need a pool party one. And I'll stamp that right here. I always close these up since I'm making so many cards. I'm afraid my ink pad's going to dry up on me. And then I need a garden green one. Thought we should have at least one normal one. Oh, thanks, Diana. Glad you liked that first card. Okay, there. And I need one more. I decided I was going to make a sweet sorbet one. So let me grab that one. Oh, I know what you mean, Carol. There were so many good things in the mini. I didn't get everything I wanted either. There's the sweet sorbet one. And I'm having the same problem with the one that's coming out in January. It's another good one. Okay. I wish it carried over too, Carol. I was really bummed. I had a feeling it would retire, but I was still really hoping it wouldn't. Okay. So now we've got all the trees done, and I die cut those out using the same sandwich I used when I did the little snow. Well, actually, I'll be showing you that here in a minute because I want everything that I die cut today is just so you can know how to do it. I'm not going to die cut the shapes, so you don't have to sit and watch me do that. So I've got all of those die cut. I've got them in a little dish here, and I'm going to leave them in the dish for right now so I don't lose them. One thing I am going to do, though, in the kit, let's see, I don't know what this piece is from. We've got, you'll find 2 circles. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. I've got another circle missing. That was in here. I know it. Oh, no, there it is. Yay. Because I was like, I really need that because that looks really cool. Something else that retired, but I have plenty of this, so you don't have to worry about not being able to have this in the card kit. This is the Snowflake Specialty Vellum, and this is the flocked version with the little dots that represent snow. And that's going to go on my pool party circle. But then I wanted to have a little snow hill here. So I went ahead and die cut another circle here. Get this out of the way. Oh, bring this back in. We need to get this set up for die cutting again. So we've got the plate base platform. See if I can reach everything. The die plate, and then a standard cutting plate. So I'm showing you a couple little things you can do with this little swirl thing here. So I only want part of this little bitty snow thing here. So I'm going to put it here near the bottom, like so. Grab my other standard cutting plate. I just want to make sure I do see 2 hills on this piece, because I liked having the 2 hills. Run it through. And for the card kits, it worked out really good. I only had to die cut 1 circle, so that's the one I'm going to keep for this card. When I did it for the card packs, just turn this over, and I can do another one on this side. So that gives me 2 out of that 1 circle. So I want to make sure I told you that. But I'm not going to need that one for this one, so I'm just making 1 card. And that is all the die cutting I need to show you. Get this out of the way. Let's see, what else we do need to stamp. Let me grab this again. I've got a little rectangle piece of basic white. And then I'm going to do the Have a Sweet Christmas with my Real Red ink pad. Oh, and I forgot to show you. So this one I'm not going to be putting any gingerbread house on it. I want to show you how you can do something different. So all we used was a tree, and then the Have a Sweet Christmas. So those are the only stamps I used for this card. And then with the dies, I just needed the tree. And that was it. Oh, no, and the swirl, which you already saw just a second ago. Okay, now I'm going to ink this up with Real Red. And put it right here in the center. I love a photopolymer because it's so much easier to see. And I always make sure that the block is bigger than the stamp, so that way I can see the paper a lot better. If I used one that had the beveled edges right real close to the stamp, it is really hard to see the cardstock underneath. So that's a little tip. So that was with Real Red. Put this to the side. Let's see, what else do we need to stamp? I think that's all. Look at my card. There we go. Yep, that is all I need to stamp. So I'll get this out of the way. I'm going to grab the card base, which is a piece of Pool Party. Get those corners lined up. Oh, where'd I put my bone folder? My goodness, I am really having a hard time today. Well, I know what it is. I'm going to move these out of the way. I keep putting these big pieces in front of my little supply thing, and I can't see what's in there. There we go. That's much easier. Okay, so now we've got the pool party. Got 2 pieces of the Sweetest Christmas DSP. I should be able to give you the exact designs because I think I have enough paper if you place an order and to get the card kits. But you might end up finding one's a little bit of a different design, but it'll still look really good because it's still going to match everything. So these are both the same size. Oh, thanks, Carol. I'm glad you like my tips. Okay, I'm going to put adhesive on this one because I liked the green one on the left. And it's going to go kind of at an angle like so. That looks pretty good. Put that down. Then I'm going to do the striped one. This one would have looked good too, but I thought the stripes would look good with this. I'm going to bring it down just a little bit. Cover up the green some. There we go. So that's going to be the base of the cards. Now I'm going to grab a piece of sweet sorbet. This is using instead of ribbon. I'm going to put it about right here. Actually, I'm going to grab the circles and make sure. Oh, yeah, that looks good. Make this straight. Actually, let's bring this up again if I can. So I didn't get it quite centered left and right. There we go. So we've got that down. Now I'm going to bring this in. And I I wanted the blue circle behind it just to make it look like we've got sky behind those little snowflakes. So I'm going to make sure I definitely put seal down here near the bottom. I think I'm going to put a little one right here in the middle too because I'm going to have some trees covering that up. But one thing I noticed with this vellum, the seal really doesn't show much at all, at least on this one. Because if I put it up close, you're not going to see it either. I had trouble seeing it. So that's a lot of times with vellum, you can still see your adhesive. This one I couldn't, so I was happy with that. Now let me find my little, there we go. We've got our snow here. Once again, oh, wait a minute. I almost forgot something I did. You don't have to do this. I didn't do it on the first card, but I wanted this to be a little glittery. So I'm bringing in my Wink of Stella. Love my Wink of Stella, but sometimes I forget about it. And I'm just going to cover this whole thing up. You probably are not going to see it in the video. I'm going to squeeze a little bit out. There we go. That's better. But it really looks glittery in person. If you've ever used the Wink of Stella, you know what I'm talking about. But it dries really fast. Okay, so I've got that ready to go. Oh, and another tip. When you store these, usually with pens, you want to store them flat like this. You need to have they say to have the brush tip pointing up when you do this. I think it helps it so the tip doesn't get really messed up. So you're supposed to store them upright. Oh, hi, Pat. Thanks for coming. I'm glad you like the card. Glad you get to catch me live, too. Okay. Now I'm going to put this near the bottom because it's already dry. And I'm only going to put adhesive here along the bottom edges because I'm going to be sticking those trees in here and I want to be able to stick them underneath the snow. So I will put this right here. And normally I'd be making sure I'm covering up my adhesive, but since I can't see it, I'm not even going to worry about it. So we've got that here. Bring in all my little, well, there's my greeting. Let's bring those 5 little trees. And I'm just going to start sticking them in places. I'm going to put them in the order I want them. I think I'm going to do a green one and do it just like I did on my original, but you can put them in whatever order you want. Since I already played around with this when I made the first card, I'm going to do it like I did on my first one. There's the pool party one, and there's another pink one. Okay? So we can use glue dots again. I think since I've just got my seal out, I'm just going to put a little bit. Well, maybe I will use a glue dot. There we go. And stick it right here. I'm going to put it underneath, lift up the snow just a little bit. I've got that one. I think I'm going to do the other end one too. Sometimes it's better to do each end, and that kind of helps you eyeball. And if you use seal, if you see some of the adhesive sticking out, just take your fingernail and kind of move it back to the back. That way it's not going to be sticking out from the front. And I'm going to stick this under. And I'm fine with it going over the circle again because it's still going to be on the card base. The only time I worry about having things come over is when it's with the card base because we want it to still stick in the envelope. Here's my other petal pink. And I'm making sure I put the adhesive closer to the bottom so that way I don't have to have too much adhesive showing and have to play around with it. Bring this one down. I also like how the hills are making it so I can have them going up and down. Have one shorter than the other. Now here's the sweet sorbet. A little bit right there. So if you don't have glue dots, this is another way to put these on. We'll stick this in. I'm going to have this one a little bit taller than the pink one on the left. Okay. We have just enough room for a pool party. And I'm okay with them overlapping a little bit because trees are going to intersect. And actually, I think I want this one up a little bit higher. There we go, than the pink one on the right. Kind of have them going up and down on the hill. So now that's ready to go. And I wanted this to be popped up. So we're going to turn it over. Grab my dimensionals. Now with circles, a lot of times I'll just use 3. But this is a big circle. So I'm going to use 4. So use 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom. That should hold it on really good. Keep it from wobbling too. Scoop up the backings. And then this, oops, got another backing there. And this is going to go right here. I'm going to have a little bit of that sweet sorbet strip show over here. Put that down. I want this popped up with dimensionals, but it is going to be leaning up against this. So this side is just going to have the seal. This side is going to have the dimensionals. So I'm going to go ahead and grab one here. And let's put one, let's see, where's the bottom? This is the bottom. Oops. Oh, this will still work. Oh, yeah, we can just do this. Just put one in the center. Doesn't matter if it's top or bottom, just as long as there's one in the center. But I don't want anything over here. I'm going to put a little bit of seal right up here in the top left corner, okay? Take these off. And put this right here. I'm going to put it up a little bit close to the sweet sorbet strip. There we go. But that's why I did not want to put any seal on this side because that would make this cockeyed. We want it to be the same height as the trees. So we've got to put some of those red rhinestones on there. So in this one, I decided to put one here on the greeting, just so it's not just a plain old white piece of cardstock. And I thought this strip needed something. So I put one here in this corner. And I put one here in this corner. And those are all the rhinestones. And then we've got the inside of the card. I don't need that out right now. And this time, instead of stamping, I'm just putting another piece of the DSP inside, using a design that's from the front so they coordinate. Oops, get this going again. And this is just going to go here along the bottom. So you don't always have to stamp the inside of your cards. And then we'll put this inside. And we will be done with card number 2 already. Thanks, Diana. Glad you like this card too. So there's our inside, and there's the outside. So card number 2 is done. We got one more to go. So I'll put this over here so I can bring it back out again. Let's see here. This one's going to be another gingerbread house one. Let me get the stamping done again. So I'll bring in what I ended up doing. Take back. This is the same thing. I was thinking about my card club video. So I've already stamped these and die cut them, but I want to show you how I stamped them again. Oh, there it is. Get my Stampin' Pierce mat here. So once again, I'm going to stamp a gingerbread house. You can kind of tell by looking what I'm doing. Since everything's die cut. Once again, I'm going to use crumb cake. And you could definitely make like a pink gingerbread house if you wanted to. You don't have to stick with the crumb cake. It just worked out better with the cards I was making today. And we're done with the crumb cake for the day. I'm going to go ahead. Last time I forgot to stamp these, so I'm going to do it now. Get my soft suede. And we'll get these on here. I get out of the video. I am just a little bit. There we go. I thought I was down a little too far. There we go. And then do this. There. So that's ready to go. Oh, yeah. And instead of die cutting all the windows, let's see, I need to get my Wink of Stella out because I'm going to be using different colors on some of these. Get that petal pink off of this one from the first card. So that's the double window. This time I'm going to use Pool Party. Pick this up. I'm going to line it up in those two windows. There we go. So now we've got the windows done. And then I decided to go with a real red door. So I need to clean the door off because that was a pool party last time. And I'll stamp the door right there. So now we've got the house all stamped. We do need a roof. I'm going to use the real red again on the roof. I thought this time I'll have the roof and the door match. So we've got a roof. Another Stampin' dimensional paper. Those like to multiply, I think. I used the clear Wink of Stella, Mary Alice. Yeah, on the snow. The gold would look pretty too, but I did use the clear. So I wanted to keep the snow white. Okay, now I need to stamp. Oh, yeah. I'm going to bring these two stamps back in. Now, the one that's smoother, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. One has bumps. This one here in my right hand has bumps. That one is like a little gumball, and the smooth one is the window. So I'm going to use it for gumballs this time. And I'm going to stamp 3 in petal pink. So we'll do 3 here. Kind of leave them far apart because this is another die. We actually get 3 of these in the die set. Oh, you're welcome, Mary Alice. Glad I saw your comment. Sometimes I forget to look up. Okay, now I'm going to do a couple Pool Party. So yeah, if you've ever got questions, guys, please don't hesitate to ask. And if by chance I do miss it, I will come back and answer the question. On YouTube, I have to do it under the regular comments because the chat during the live, I can't put comments on it after the live's over. It's kind of a pain. I wish I could do that. But just look under the video, the recorded video, and you'll be able to see the answer there. And then on Facebook, they make it easy. I'll just comment under your, or put the answer underneath your comment, so you'll find it real easy. So now I'm going to do Pool Party. And this time I'm only going to do 2 gumballs. There we go. Let's see, what else do I need? Oh, yes. There's also a wreath. So bring in the wreath, and I'm going to use Garden Green. Almost forgot the wreath. We'll stamp that. And I'm also going to stamp the trees. I think I cleaned this off. Yep, I did. And I'm going to use 3 trees. So I end up using the trees on all 3 cards. I think these are cute trees. I like them. Let's see, is that all I need? We've got the gumballs, the roof, the house. Yep, on this sheet, that's all I need. Oh, I'm going to keep the Garden Green out, though. I'm going to grab another piece of basic white here. And grab the From Our Home to Yours. So I used all 3 greetings in the stamp set on these. And I'm going to stamp this near the right side, not all the way over to the right. But that looks good. I think I'll put it right about there. I love the font on this stamp set too. So like I said, the stamp set is still available. I think I forgot to say this though. It is on low inventory. So you're going to want to get it real quick because it hopefully hasn't sold out since this morning. When things get on low inventory, they usually go pretty quick. So to make my little banner, because I want to have a little banner end, I'm going to clip right here in the center, okay? So I've got a little slit right there. Then I'm going to go from the corner to the top of that slit. This makes it so it's a little more even when I do my banner. If I don't put that slit there, it's going to look really lopsided. So go to the corner again and end at that. There we go. So now I've got a little banner. So put that to the side. And let's see what I do with my inside. Oh, yes. I'm going to grab another piece of basic white that's the inside of my card. And I'm going to get that tree stamp that I like so much. And I'm going to make a little bunch of trees right here. So I'm going to make this one just a little short. Maybe make this one a little bit taller. I'm going to overlap them a little bit too. Make that one even shorter. There we go. So that's going to be the inside of the card. And I do believe that is all the stamping. So I can get this out of the way. There's nothing special that I have to die cut on this one. So I die cut all these out ahead of time. So I'll get my little dish with all my little things in there. I'm going to grab my card base. This is a real red card base. Line up these corners. Take my bone folder. And this one's going to be a horizontal card this time. Thankfully, I remembered that. I don't know about you. Sometimes when I go to do the inside, I forget when I change to a horizontal card because I usually do the portrait. Thankfully, I remember this time. But like I said before, 2 sides of cardstock, I'd stamp it on the other side. I've done that so many times, I can't count anymore. Okay, so this will just go in here, like so. And I'm going to grab a piece of crumb cake and another piece of that Sweetest Christmas. And this is going to go right across the center. So I've used a different design on all the cards. And if you get the free card kits when you place an order, then you can use whichever side you want, because the candy canes would have looked cute too that are on the other side of this. Try to get this in the center. Actually, I can do it better this way. Okay. I think that's not too bad. Put that all the way across. Okay. Now I can put this on the card base. I always make sure I put if it's paper it's going all the way across, I put the paper on first before I put it on the card base. That way, if the paper, this paper is a little bit longer, not by much. But now this part that's hanging over, I can hurry up and cut that off real quick. Just go right along the cardstock. There we go, and now it fits. Another thing, it's like I said with that circle one, it's a lot easier to do that, or actually the snow on the first card, to do that before you attach it to the card. Okay, it folds on top. Put this on. And now I'm going to grab a piece of Pool Party and another piece of Real Red. I'm going to go ahead and put the Pool Party on the center of it, of the Real Red piece that is. I think that's what that is what I want to do. Started second guessing myself there for a second. And let's go ahead and put this on the card base. Oh, come on. There we go. And I'll put this on the left side. I want to make sure I show some of the paper here on the left side. I like showing that off. Actually, this is almost the same. The border here and the top and bottom are about the same. Now we are going to take the banner that has our greeting on it, or has the greeting on it, and put some paper here. And then I'm going to line up the left edge of the banner with the left edge of the Pool Party, putting it, let's see here, a little below center, about like here. Probably about 3/4 of an inch to an inch. Actually, that's probably an inch above the bottom of the Pool Party. Because that way, too, I've got a little bit of the paper showing here. Now I'm going to grab, let's see here. I'm going to grab the house. This is going to be popped up with dimensionals this time. So I'm going to use glue dots on this, the roof, and I'm going to put it on before I put it on the whole thing on the card base. So I'm going to put one right here in this middle scallop on this side, another one on the scallop on this side, and then I'll put one right here at the very tip top. There's just enough room so it doesn't show from the front. And I will put this right on here. Now, glue dots are really hard to pop back up again, so I'm going to be very gentle laying this down to see if I've got it straight. And it keeps getting stuck on my finger. Ah! Well, I almost had it. Oh, that looks pretty good. So now I've got the house all ready to go. Now I'm going to pop this up with dimensionals. So we'll turn this over. Put one up here. Put one in each corner down here. And I think I'm going to put one in the middle too. Make sure it doesn't cave in the middle. We don't need a caved in gingerbread house. Take the backings off. And then I will put it down here near the bottom of the pool party because we're going to put the trees behind the house. Okay. Now I'm going to grab, I do still want the glue dots. You know what? I'm going to take off some of this paper so I can find them easier. I'm going to grab some of the little gumdrops here. I'm going to grab a pink one first. Actually, I'm going to grab a pool party one first. I think it'll be easier to start from the door out. So there's the pool party. I'm going to put it to the left of the door and kind of have it hanging down just a little bit. So it kind of looks like it's in front, going like up down the path or something. So actually you want to put the glue dots probably near the top, still in the center, but maybe closer to the top a little bit. Because I think I've got them all hanging off just a little bit. Now I'm going to put this one right here. And they're all on the house, so it still looks like they're popped up, even though I didn't use dimensionals. Now I'm going to grab another pink one. And grab a glue dot. This one's going to be on the other side of the door. So there's just so many different ways to decorate this house. It's a lot of fun. Then, actually, I could have made more cards, but I ran out of time. Oh, this one, I'm going to kind of slide it under there a little bit. That's another nice thing about using the glue dots. You can get underneath the edges. Now we've got that there. Now the last one is going to be on the pool party. So I am going to grab a mini dimensional because I want it popped up like the house. And also be popped up with looks like it's going to be popped up like the other gumdrops. And this one can go right underneath, like so. So now we've got all the gumdrops on there. Now we've only got our trees left to do. Since I had the glue dots out, I'm going to just use these instead of the seal again. I'm going to put one down here at the bottom. I could put one at the top too if I wanted to. I'm not going to worry about it this time. Now this one, I kind of like to underneath the banner, so I'm going to lift the banner up just a little bit. I know I glued it down, but usually it has a little give, so you can slide it under just a little bit. And there's that tree. Grab another glue dot. And then we'll put this one kind of behind the chimney a little bit. This kind of looks like trees on a hill behind the house. And then our last one. Oops, I almost forgot about our wreath. We can't forget about that. Let me get that back in there. Don't want to lose the wreath. Because this time we're going to put a wreath in the top center rather than the window. And this tree I decided to put over here. It's kind of on its lonesome, but it still looks good. Okay, so there we've got that done. I'm going to grab the wreath. Now the wreath doesn't have a lot of room for glue dots. I'm going to put one right here and one here because it's a little bit bigger. I don't want it falling off. Oh, there's a glue dot. So I will put one on the back of that one and then one on this bottom right leaf. And that'll keep it from moving around on me. These one is fine because they're kind of long and skinny. This being a little fatter, I wanted to have a couple on there. So I'm going to put it right underneath that center swirl again above the door. And if you look at it close, you can see their little berries. They don't look right because they're green. So that is where the red rhinestones come back in. So I will put one over each of those, and I'm going to kind of move them over a little bit because the dots are a little bit smaller than the rhinestones. There we go. So they're not going to go right over it, but they are going to cover them up. So now we've got that done, and we've got the inside done. So I forgot we got the inside done, so I am all done with all the cards. So I hope you enjoyed these cards. Let me bring them all back in again. So there's card number 3, there's 2, and there's 1. So I hope you had fun watching me make these. And if you want to make them yourself and get the card kits so you can make 2 of each, make sure you place an order using my host code for this month. And here, I'll switch to this screen real quick again. This one, the big picture actually on the left shows you the host code. But if you just click on the Card Class at Home link below in the video description, go to that page, and that'll also give you everything that you need to know, and also give you a link to place your order, and it'll automatically add the host code for you. But if your order is $150 or more, make sure you remove that host code. Go to the shopping cart and hit the trash can icon next to the host code. That'll delete it. That way, Stampin' Up will give you their Stampin' rewards, but then you need to contact me at Christy Fulk at createwithchristy.com. You can also click the contact me link below in the video description and let me know that you want that order to go towards the class. If I don't get an email from you, then I'll just take it for granted you weren't interested in the card kits. So there are the cards one more time. And don't forget, those of you that are watching live, I'll do a drawing as soon as this video is over. I'm going to put everybody's names in. I don't think we have quite as many people today with Christmas and everything. It doesn't surprise me. So you have a very good chance of your name getting drawn. I'll come back in about half an hour or so, put a comment on my Facebook page, and then if you go to my YouTube channel, click on the Communities tab, and you'll find the post there letting you know who the winner is. And I did have a winner last week, and I don't think that person contacted me, so I can't remember who won last week, so make sure you check that out too. Make sure you didn't win last week and miss that. So people are watching live. I'll be back in 30 minutes with the winner of one of these cards, and then in the next week when I do another live, I will do the drawing for the person that wins one of these cards. You can comment during the recording also and put in the drawing for that one. Oh, thanks, Jan. I'm glad you liked them. Okay, I think that is it. So hope you had fun. We'll have one more live, and then everybody will take a break for Christmas because I know everybody's going to be busy. I almost didn't do one next week, but I thought, no, we'll do one more. It's still the 13th, so that's not too bad. So I will be back next week. If you're watching on YouTube or if you're on Facebook, you can go to my YouTube channel too. There's a link in the video description. If you don't subscribe to my YouTube channel, you can do so because I do try to get some recorded videos up. I haven't been able to do a recording one for a while. I've got to get my card club video done today. Then hopefully I can start making some more projects and get those up there. With Christmas, things are kind of crazy. Yeah, you can definitely mix up the design, Diana, for sure. With all those different stamps and stuff, there's so many possibilities. So I think that is it. Let me pop up my YouTube, make sure I'm not missing any comments over there. Oh, thanks, Carol. I'm glad you love all of them. Okay, well, I will see you guys next week. I hope you have a great week. Bye.